back with another video. I haven't been filming a lot recently because I have my A-levels coming up, and so revision and waking up panicking and stuff like that is what's on the agenda and what's like really scaring me right now. But today I wanted to take a break and I wanted to just make this video because, you know, life isn't always about studying and life isn't just about the grades you get. I say as I spend 24 hours reading my chemistry and biology books and making like rapid notes. So yeah, this year I'm turning 19, and for me I find 19 such a really strange age to be, because you know when you're 18 there's this huge hype around it. You're 18, you're an adult and all that. You're in your 20s and you know you're like officially more of an adult. But 19, I just feel like it's like a limbo thing. It's just you're somewhere in the middle, transitioning from like a pre-adult to like a proper adult. It's just scary thinking about it. I turned 18 last year and I didn't really do much on my 18th birthday because I had to revise for my resits in October and stuff. I basically spent my 18th birthday eating pizza and revising. So that's why, in order to sort of belatedly celebrate my 18th birthday, I wanted to make this video. Like the title says, 18 things I've learned in 18 years. Without further ado, let's get to it. I've written the things in my little diary. It's really good for your self-development, and I'm a person that really prioritizes my self-development and my growth as a person, so it's helped me a lot. So chapter 18 for me is finding myself and learning about who I am more and putting myself first in certain things so that I don't become my own second choice. So 18 things I've learned in 18 years of my life. Number 1, this was something I learned the hard way. Don't text your friends when your dad is yelling at you. I have a bad habit of not learning from other people's experiences. Like, I have to go through things myself in order to learn about it, yeah? So this year what I did was, ordering out in my house is taboo. Okay, so when my mom makes home-cooked food, it's taboo to order out. But then this one day, like it was last week, my mom made food, however, it finished. So I was really hungry. So what I did was I ordered food. And because I was so scared to collect it from the main entrance, in like the main door in the living room, I opened my window and I was sitting on the windowsill waiting for the food to arrive. So at this moment my dad chose to walk in, and at that moment I chose to jump out. And the moment he walked in, I turned and then I jumped back in, and he thought I was up to strange ass shit because bear in mind I come from a brown Tamil family, okay? We're Indian, we're Desi, we are strict AF. There are things we cannot do, and that was one of them. So in the living room, my dad was having a proper go at me. He was like, a house is only supposed to have one entrance, but you are creating 6, 7 entrances, blah blah blah. My dumbass chose that moment to text my friend and say, hey look, my dad's having a go at me, I'll text you back later. And right when I took my phone to text back, my dad, he grabbed my phone and then and my phone literally looks like a flip phone now. Like there's a proper bend on my phone, like it's properly bent, and it's just really sad. I literally cried for 3 hours straight, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like that's the bend. That's the bend. Can you see the bend? And that's the back. My camera is shit, so it doesn't focus, but yeah. Lesson number 1, don't text while your dad's yelling at you. Number 2, read into things that you don't know about. When you don't know something or you hear something that you're not really sure about, Google it. Go into it, research into it, read about it, write things down, make notes, I don't know, do whatever, because it's really important that you know certain things, that you are aware of certain things. This is how you feed your mind. This is how you feed your mind to grow. It's really important. I think it's really important. Because me, I used to have this thing where I didn't like to read into things, and I'd befriend people that knew a lot of things so I can learn about these things so that I can learn about these things through them. Why make friends just so you can learn more things from them when you can be the person that knows about all these things? That's pretty cool, isn't it? Number 3, those days where you wake up where you feel like not wanting to do anything, legit, wake up and force yourself to do it. The more you don't do something, even though you're thinking of doing it, the more unsatisfied you feel with yourself. And you don't want to feel that, because when you feel unsatisfied with yourself, it's probably one of the worst feelings you can feel, and it's just not good. So force yourself to do the things you don't feel like doing when you feel like shit. Number 4, don't make spicy noodles at 1 a.m. unless you want to wake up the next day with really bad diarrhea. And number 5, Don't make pasta at 1 a.m. unless you want to feel super bloated the next day, because it's really not worth it. It's actually not worth it. Like, I have this really bad habit. I have a lot of bad habits, to be honest. I like to wake up at 12 a.m. at midnight and make food and eat. And then I complain that I'm fat, but then I still don't stop making food at 12 a.m. to eat. And then I wake up with heartburns the next day. And it's really not worth it. It's actually not worth it. Number 6, go with the flow. This is something that you hear often. You see posts about it, you see quotes about it, but really go with the flow. In life, we're really not meant to hold on to things really hard, because life is legit just a flow, and since we're part of life, we're part of nature, we're meant to go with the flow as well. Like, don't grasp onto things really tightly. I once read this quote somewhere, yeah? They're like, the sun is not in our reach, it's really far away, but you can still feel its warmth. Likewise, you can't see the wind, but you can still feel it when it, brushes past your skin and all that. And even water, you can hold it, right? When you hold on to water like this, you can hold on to it. But the moment you grasp onto it, it slips through your fingers. Even in nature, we're taught not to hold on to things tightly, because once you do, it sort of just leaves. Life is meant to happen the way it's meant to happen. And that doesn't mean that you sit on your ass and don't do shit. You just trust the flow, trust the process of life. Number 7, people can sense your vibes. When you pretend to be happy, people know you're pretending to be happy, because your vibes give off what you're truly feeling. Your vibes, you can't underestimate them. Your vibes are your vibes, and they're there all the time, and it's your vibe that attracts people to you. So keep your vibes pure. Keep your vibes happy. Maintain your vibes as something that other people would want to associate with. Take care of your vibes. Very, very important. Very, very important. Number 8. Okay, number 8. Well, do not try to not eat for 2 months straight. Just don't do it. 2 years ago, I went through this major obsession with trying to maintain like a healthy weight and stuff. What I did was I didn't eat for 2 months. What I tried to survive on was water and 2 or 3 spoonfuls of rice, and that was it. It was so bad, because at the end of the 2 months, people came up to me and they're like, why do you look so sick? Why are you so skinny? What happened to you? And I'm like, look, you don't get it. You don't get it. At the end of the 2 months, I was at a point where I couldn't exercise properly because I ran out of breath easily. I didn't have the energy. I was pale looking. Yeah, I know I'm brown, but like, I basically made a brown person look pale. Don't jeopardize your health for your physical appearance. Number 9, trust your gut. Your gut knows more than you do. Your gut can sense things which you can't sense. And there was some study behind it. I looked into it, yeah. There was a study behind your gut instincts, and that was because when we were in our primitive stages, we needed to process information really fast, and that's that. Your gut instinct is your mind processing information which you can't really comprehend yet. So trust your gut instincts, especially when it comes to people. Your gut is basically your mom. You know how moms just know when a friend isn't good for you or when this person isn't right for you? Your gut's the same. Your gut's your second mom. So trust your gut, because your gut knows more than you do. Number 10, don't read too much into things, okay? Life isn't literature. Okay? Not everything has 2 meanings to it. Not everything has 3 meanings to it. Sometimes things are just black and white. Take it as they are. Don't make everything something gray. Stop over-analyzing and stop overthinking, because you create problems that aren't even there, okay? And this is coming from someone who struggles so much with anxiety issues and overthinking issues, because I basically overthink myself to a brink of anxiety, and then I just sit there with tears in my eyes and just, like, oh my gosh. Number 11, even at your happiest moments, stay calm and stay chill. Breezy Prabahar, aka me, likes to talk a lot, likes to get all excited and overboard when something's happy, when she feels happy, and it's dumb. Don't do that. Because what tends to happen is you usually tend to jinx it. Personally, for me, I believe that when it comes to things that make you happy, yes, it's good to share it with people so you can share your happiness and stuff, but sometimes some happy things that happen to you should be kept only to you, because that way it's more special. I have a really, really bad habit of just talking too much when I'm excited, or when I'm excitable, or when I'm just so happy. I just talk about it a lot, and now that I look back, it's just pissing me off because it's like, why would you do that? Just keep things to yourself. Stop it. So yeah. Number 12. Feelings and emotions are temporary. So don't let your feelings and emotions sort of jeopardize what you can make more permanent in the future. And I think that didn't make sense because I didn't really understand what I just said there. For me, what I tend to do is when I feel really sad, what I tend to do is I just lie down and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna take this day for myself, have like a sad day just for myself. But then you realize that these sad days become more frequent, and at that point, you should really understand that you're just pitying yourself. So don't get wrapped up in your emotions. I tend to do that a lot with revision and studying. Like, I'm like, I don't feel like it today, I'm not gonna study. But like, Breezy, 5 years down the line, who's probably gonna be, you know, on the streets homeless and begging, is gonna look back at Breezy, who is 18, 16, 17, and be like, why the hell did you not revise? Why did you not take matters into your own hands and push your stupid emotions aside? Because at the end of the day, what really does matter is how you come out of it. That's what determines how much of a strong mind you have. And I'm really mentally weak and very sensitive as a person. So that's something I'm still working on, but it's something you need to identify first. Stop pitying yourself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Generally, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Number 13. Apologies are good, but apologizing excessively is dumb. With my siblings and stuff, when we fight, me and my siblings have really bad arguments. Like, we fight a lot. But I've noticed we've never apologized. And I know some people might be like, oh my gosh, apologies are like so important. Why don't you apologize? Blah, blah. It's just, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. We just sort of brush it aside because we know the love's always there. Apologies don't really work. It's just more like we argue and it's like, oh, okay, then let's just get over it. Let's go, you know, let's go do that. Let's hang out. And it's just like that. I'm a type of person that finds apologies very awkward. Stop apologizing for everything you do. Like, I used to be that sort of person that just apologizes for everything. And right now, I'm just like, why? Those are things that you just move on from. Say sorry for the things you need to say sorry for, but when you know that you might be overdoing it, don't do it. Number 15. Talk about problems when that problem arises. Okay? Because when you bring up a problem when that problem isn't even there, you're just creating more problems for no reason, okay? And I used to do this a lot. This point basically links on to my next point, okay? Like, the only reason why I used to bring up problems when the problem wasn't even there was because I was insecure. And that is point number 16. One thing I've learned is that people do a lot of strange things when they're insecure. I'm not boasting or anything, but I am a confident person. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with a lot of things that are to do with me. And when I say this, I mean it. I have never felt insecure in my life except for this year. This year was one of the worst years I have ever had for my self-development. I guess my self-development was practically based on this year, but it was one of the worst situations I have ever been in my life, and it was so bad. I became so insecure this year. Insecure to a point where I got so emotional and super sensitive, and I would just pick a problem at everything and anything, and it was so strange. At that moment, it felt like, oh my god, everything's against me, blah 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 and all that. But now that I look back from a more emotionally stable perspective, I just look back at who I was and who I was around, like, what, 3 months ago? And I'm just like, who the hell were you? It was so crazy, man. It was actually crazy. And that's when I realized insecurity does stem from within, but also the people who say they love you and the people who say they care about you, the people around you, they can sort of trigger it and they can do things to make you feel insecure. It was totally out of character for me. I was argumentative, and for a person that hates confrontation myself, I became so confrontational, and I was so emotionally sensitive. And I'm normally a sensitive person. Like, I get touched easily and I tear up easily and all that. But this time it was like that times 1,000. It was horrible. It was like I would get so sensitive at everything, and it pisses me off now that I think about it. I already have overthinking issues, but this time it was just all enhanced, and I was more anxious, more paranoid, and I would get pissed off at anything. I'd get angry at anything. I couldn't take jokes properly. I couldn't joke around around properly. I got shy. I wouldn't talk to people. And it was just so sad because normally I'm such a loudmouth. I just talk a lot and I just say anything and everything. But at that point in time, I was just an emotional, sensitive, and a paranoid, insecure mess. And I never want to go back to that again. So, yeah. Number 17. Start conversations with people and ask them how they are. It's such a good trait to have, and I think it's something we've lost in today's day and age because the way we communicate with people now, with friends and stuff, is basically we send them a meme and we all laugh about it and a conversation stems from there. But we sort of forgot that our interactions sort of work through like a mutual connection of emotion and stuff. Ask them how they are, ask them how their day went, ask them what they did. I didn't realize that I'm a person that liked to talk about those things until someone did that for me. And it was a trait I really loved, and I just thought more people should be like that. Once in a while, just message people with a hi and ask them how they are. So do it. Do it for people, make people feel nice, because we need a lot of niceness in this world. Yeah. And finally, number 10. But I can't count. Finally, number 18. Pick your battles. There's a lot of times in our lives where we can pick on something and we can say, I have a problem with this, that, I don't like this, that, and then you can have a problem with everyone and anyone around you. But it's not worth it. Some things aren't worth fighting about. Some things aren't worth an argument. In the long run, those small arguments really aren't worth it. So those are the times you just learn how to adjust and you sort of have to make compromises and stuff. So yeah, that's it for today's video. And now I have to go back and my chair keeps moving. It's annoying. I must go back and revise for my A-levels because these grades are what determine whether I get into university or not. So like, it's really sad. But it's okay. Positive mindset, you can do it. Just work hard and let everything else just work its course. Bye guys! See you later!